Hey, welcome back to Ping Pong Flix. My name is Chris Wong. Excitement for Justice League has not calmed me down a bit. The most exciting thing that I am looking forward to Justice League is Superman's return. We really got him in 2 movies, but I really want to see more Man of Steel, more Henry Cavill as Superman. And so I am I'm like going bonkers wondering why is there no Superman sequels? Why is there a Man of Steel 2? Why is there no Man of Tomorrow? I don't know anything. I started having conversations with some of you guys in the comments, and a lot of you guys gave some great possibilities for a Man of Steel 2 or Superman 2 or Superman sequel in any format. And it always comes back to that general question. In Hollywood, does it always have to be bigger, badder, larger in size, more important, more cataclysmic, more apocalyptic than the movie from before? Would Hollywood actually accept a smaller scale story, like where Superman fights Metallo, fights Bizarro, even though that could be kind of superpowered as well, fights Parasite? Smaller stories. And I know everybody's saying Brainiac, but I feel within the inclusion of Justice League in this whole DC Films universe, Brainiac is as much as an incredible badass villain and much more dangerous, guys, just as much as Darkseid. So a Justice League would have to help Superman on that. So let's find something where Superman doesn't need the Justice League, yet make it a big story and not so small that Hollywood would say, you know, let's greenlight that. We want a big Superman story. Superman versus Mongul. Now, that is taking it completely out of the box, completely out of the realm of Earth, and shooting him out all the way out into space to a planet called Warworld. Now, this is after the Infinite Crisis interpretation, where Warworld became like a gladiatorial kind of match. Sounds familiar? They're doing that in Thor Ragnarok that's coming out this year. And Thor Ragnarok is not just about Thor. They're pulling elements of World War Hulk within it. Gladiatorial matches in an alien world. Aliens fighting aliens to the death. I would love to see that. Him fighting against Drago, sparing his life. They're teaming up. They fight Mongul, and then to end it all in a climactic battle, somehow take a small part of a storyline that where he, instead of battling Brainiac 13, he sun dips and moves Warworld out of Mongul's grasp or something through a boom tube. Something. Just take that element of that Action Comics run and put it into Warworld so that it becomes a larger story, because we've never seen him do that. We've never seen him the power of the sun and move a planet. We've seen him lift up a giant Kryptonian island in Superman Returns, but I feel like we should have a little something like that to end the story in a huge big way, instead of just ending it like a gladiator match, because this is Superman after all. A lot of people, like, we would understand the power of Superman in a gladiatorial match, but I think people on the rest of the planet will want to see Superman doing super things, and I think that would end it very well. Now, the argument about that is that we haven't had too much time of Superman on Earth doing super things, at least the things that people who generally love the Superman from Christopher Reeve days, or the brighter Superman, they're not accepting of the Man of Steel version. They want seeing him save people, which, you know, arguably we've seen him save people, save a lot of people, save the world, but I understand you want that Earth element, and that's why towards the beginning of Warworld, before he's somehow transported out in space, whether through a boom tube or whatnot, you know, that could be the part in the beginning, the prologue, where he does some saving on Earth. And you get a sense of his life on Earth of years after Justice League, or however long after that. Another person actually thought of an incredible idea of interplacing Warworld as a prequel to Justice League. Hear me out here, okay? It was one theory by one person, and it kind of makes sense, yet I don't think it's going to happen. But this is it. So at the end of Batman v Superman, where the dirt is lifted, we all assumed it's maybe Superman's ready to fly out of it. A lot of people commented maybe a boom tube was opening up and he's ready to be transported out. What if that is Superman being transported out to Warworld? And the Warworld story happens before Justice League. And when Justice League happens, it's the aftermath where Superman comes back from the Warworld, and that whole mystery of where you've been would be at towards the end of Justice League. And then Warworld, Superman Warworld happens, and then that's the prequel to Justice League. It explains what happened to Superman. That's far-fetched. But you know, at this point I take any theory and I gladly talk about any of those stories, because right now anything and everything can possibly happen, and that just adds to the excitement of Justice League. Because what happened to Superman? How does he come back? What's going to transpire in Justice League? Things that we have not yet seen in the trailers, possible storylines that have been changed or turned around. And would this Justice League, because everybody seems to be waiting on Justice League, even Warner Brothers, even DC Films, maybe even Jeff Johns, if you're listening, is this it? Are you waiting for what happens in Justice League to say how much of this world can be blown up into different stories after that? What do you guys think about the possibilities of Superman sequel with involving Warworld, Mongul? I would love to hear your comments down below. So thank you so much for subscribing, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.